good afternoon, everybody. I tell you what, the sun is shining through my window. Hallelujah! And guess what? And I still haven't been out. Oh dear, oh dear. But never mind. We are going to over to see the lovely Maria now. Maria, how are you?
Hello, Steve. I'm very well, thank you. Apart
Yes.
from not going out, are you okay?
I'm alright. I'm alright. I need an haircut, Maria. I need an haircut. I'm waiting
Me
for my
too.
hair. Yeah.
Me too.
I need my haircut. Look, my ear, I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me once again, because you've been on before, ain't you?
Yeah.
Yes. And you were talking to me about your project, what you do for Romania, which is really, really good.
Thank you.
And I'm thinking of putting my wife in one of those boxes you got and sending her off to Romania for a little
I'll,
while.
I'll go with her.
You go with her, yes. Aren't we all? We should all go. We should all go. I'd love to go to Romania sometime and see what happens over there when I'm better. Um, how's it going? How's it going with the project?
It's going really well. We have already started for next Christmas, and yes, it's taken off.
Good, good. So, tell everybody because there's new people on today.
Okay.
Around about we got 5,000 people on here now on the radio site and a few people on here. So, tell everybody what you do.
So I work for a mission that is called Life to Romania. It's voluntary work. I did some mission trips to Romania in the past. Then, about 3 years ago, I had to stop because my husband's health deteriorated and I can't leave him by himself. So, the very first time I went to Romania, I saw some shoeboxes and in the person's bathroom where I was staying, and they were covered with Christmas paper. So automatically, it made me think of Christmas shoeboxes. And when I asked them how did they get those boxes, they actually went very sad because they said that there was this big lorry offloading a whole lot of shoeboxes, and he asked if he could have some for the children in the church, and he was told that they didn't have any spare ones. After begging for a while, they gave him two. So he went home with two shoeboxes. So he was very sad because he said, I couldn't give them to anybody, Maria. For me to give to two children and not give to the others, it's not good.
No, no.
So I didn't say, but I think his grandchildren got them. Um,
Ah,
so I prayed about it because straight away, as I was talking to him, I felt that desire to do something about it.
yeah.
And I know the organization he was talking about. It's called the Samaritans. They do a Christmas box. I think it's called Operation Christmas Child. And they take Christmas boxes all over the world. Um, but they work with school children only. See, it's very easy because you contact the school, you ask the headmaster how many children per classroom, how many boys and how many girls. So automatically you got the age group and you got the gender. And they put specific things for the school children, like it's mainly crayons, coloring books, stationery items, sweets, toys, and that's more or less what they send.
Gosh. So,
But I couldn't do it that way, Steve. That would be too big. That was too big for me. But I could do it for one church. I said to the Lord, I'm sure I can do it for this church. This is when I arrived. The next day, when we had our first day of our mission program with the children, there were about 170 children. I said, oh my goodness. Will I be able to do 170 boxes? And anyway, I prayed about it, and the more I prayed, the stronger the desire to do
Yeah.
it. I came back, and myself with two colleagues from church. We arrived in August, so between August and November, we sent them 200 boxes,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that
You
was
must
it.
you must get a lot of pleasure out of doing it. You know, making because I see pictures of you kind of like you're making the if you haven't got shoe boxes, you're actually making boxes. You're actually putting
Yeah,
stuff in the shoe boxes. You
yeah,
know, you know,
yeah,
it's kind of
because
like mm,
yeah, during the lockdown, this is during the first lockdown last year. Obviously, I couldn't get any shoe boxes at all because all the shops were closed. And I was getting stuck because the time was going by. I have all the materials at home to fill up the shoe boxes with. I have Christmas paper to cover them. I also put a Christmas card with a little message in Romanian inside the Christmas card. And I had all these and they had no boxes. So I went and visited. This is just before the lockdown. So it's interesting how God works. So this is the week before the lockdown. I went to see our children in London, and they were asking me how the shoebox project was going because it was still early in the year. Was I getting enough materials and so on? And I said, well, I've got everything except the boxes. I can't pack everything. So my son and his wife, straight away, without me knowing, went onto the internet and ordered about 50 flat packed boxes that approximately the size of a shoebox. So I did all those. I finished them all and I didn't have courage to ask him for more. So I just carried on praying and I prayed and I prayed and I said, something has to happen from somewhere. And you know what? Andrew came up with the idea of making them.
all right.
Yeah, a few years ago, we were given, these big cardboard boxes that we use when we move houses.
Yeah, yeah.
You get them different sizes. I'm talking about quite big ones, brand new, flat packed, straight from the factory to Andrew, for Andrew to do packing of stuff to take to Romania.
Right.
But they donated so many, Steve, so many that there's still quite a lot there in Andrew's garage. And he decided he was going to use those to make the shoeboxes, and they were so beautiful. He is so
Yeah.
gifted. He's so clever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Andrew is
Yeah.
fantastic. So he started making them. So he made the boxes, and we covered.
I see, because when you put the photos up on your Facebook and the Romanian page, it was so good to see all those children smiling and
Um,
and opening the boxes and everything because
it
to
warms
them
my heart.
it is, yeah, because to them, that's all what they got in it, really.
It's the only thing they are given throughout the
Yeah.
year. The first year that we distributed them, Andrew actually went personally. He took the boxes personally to them. So he distributed them himself. A young boy, he must have been about 17, had tears in his eyes. And he looked at Andrew and he said, thank you so much. This is the very first gift I've ever received.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Yes.
bet, and I reckon you lot and the team get a lot of pleasure at doing it every year now. Then,
Yes, yes. The team actually is quite small because the girls have moved to doing other projects. But somehow the Lord has just helped us manage doing more and more. And every year we beat the previous year's records, which is amazing.
yeah. So, so how many shoeboxes did you send off last year? Then, yeah.
Last year we sent about 620 shoeboxes. No, sorry, that's the year before.
Yeah.
And last year we sent 744.
So this year you're going to beat the target, are you?
If the Lord wants, He will provide.
Amen for that. Amen for that. So, so people are saying to me, what do you put in these shoe boxes? You know, because I see you're putting toothpaste in there, toothbrushes in there, you're putting gloves in there, woolly things, you're putting
Yes,
woolly hats in there. You know,
yes.
what do you
I,
put
I
in
put
there?
I put whatever people donate,
Right.
but
Okay.
I always try because they are so poor. I always try to put some toiletries and at least one item of clothing that is warm, even if it's just a woolen hat.
Right.
But we've been very, very blessed. I have been able to put more than one item in each box. I've been able to do a minimum of two warm items. And now, because so many people know that I'm doing it, there's more people donating. And I actually put jumpers and cardigans, stuff like that, which is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Do they? I was going to ask you. Do they usually have clothes sent over there too?
Yes. So all the clothes that are not suitable for the shoeboxes, the way I think, Steve, is this way. If you receive a gift or if you give a gift to someone you love, it's something nice. It
Mm.
doesn't have to be expensive, but it's nice.
Yeah.
You're not going to send something dirty.
No.
You're not going to send something with holes on or something with the color that have already faded.
Mm.
So if I'm donated, sometimes wealthy people sometimes give me things that need washing. I just do a whole lot of washing, like I'm doing some today, and I dry it nicely and I fold it nicely. It goes into my airing cupboard, make sure it's properly dry so it's not going to be smelly.
Mm.
And I pack it in bean bags, but in the middle of the clothes, I put one bar of soap. And it's amazing. After a year of being stored in Andrew's garage, you open one of those bags and it smells just as fresh as when I put it there. Isn't that amazing?
It's good, isn't it? Put some
Yeah,
Febreze in it or something, you know?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So if the clothes have holes, I don't send at all.
No, no.
Unless for instance the other day I did. The other day someone gave me a very, very nice warm I think it's called a parka with a
All right,
hood on,
yeah. Yeah.
a fleece with fleece inside, and it had a hole in the arm. So I closed that all, I stitched it up and sent it because it's so warm. So it
Yeah,
didn't go
yeah.
in.
Why not? Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
yeah, it didn't go in the shoebox obviously because it's too bulky, but it
Yeah.
went in a bag.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You know, it's at the end of the day, people, people probably would kind of like love that, wouldn't they? Soon they get that,
Yes,
you
and
know.
they are
And
so grateful, so grateful. The smile on their faces, from the children to the adults to the grannies. Oh, it's just beautiful
yeah, you must get a lot out of it, a lot of joy out of it. What you do.
all the time because I do it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it can get on top of you because it's so much. So every day I do it a bit, and I pray about it, and the joy I feel when I'm putting the things in the boxes, and I'm imagining the child receiving that doll. Probably never had a doll before.
Oh
Or
no.
yesterday I did one with the doll with clothes for the doll
Yeah.
open, and I thought this little
Tell me,
doll is going to be on
tell
top
me
of me.
about this. Tell me about your two dolls that you usually have. You got these two dolls, ain't you? These two mascot dolls.
Oh yes,
What's that
so
about? What's that
we
about?
have we have a church in Bristol, which is called Polton Baptist Church. A lady in that church does a club, a weekly club with ladies that do knitting and crochet. And they knit and crochet for different projects. For instance, they started off with knitting tiny little things for premature babies. And they sent them off to hospitals, to the maternities. And then they started knitting, I can't remember, for shoeboxes, not for us, for somebody else's shoeboxes. Anyway, that project ended abruptly because the people that were doing it, they didn't have the means to send the shoeboxes out to wherever they were going, to Moldova or something like that. And she heard through Andrew about our shoeboxes, and she asked Andrew if I could go there and talk to them about it and show them what to do and all that. I did that, and I tell you, the project just took off. So the very first year that they knitted stuff and they actually put boxes together with stuff, they knitted a big snowman, quite big. It was maybe half a meter tall. Well, it's too big for the shoebox, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
automatically, Andrew thought, what a lovely toy for a child. And it's going to be our mascot this year. So because we couldn't pack it just like that, you used it and took photos with it and posted them all over the place. At the end of that year, Andrew took some shoe boxes to a children's hospice.
Right.
And being an hospice, they've got a playroom, as you can imagine, for the children. So he donated that doll, that snowman, to the hospice. So every year now, those ladies knit some dolls, and they're always different. And it's been just a one doll. This year, they knitted a pair. And that's the pair you see. I don't know what they've done with them this year because Andrew is not, well, Andrew is there now. Did you know Andrew's gone?
Yeah. What? Yeah. What I was going to say to you, the the dolls and everything, and because this lady does them, did she do it every year now? Did she make dolls every year?
Yes, because it's quite a big group. It's called the Knitternatter group. And it would be really interesting for you to interview Jo. She's the leader of the group
Can you
because
ask her for me?
I will. I actually did. I'm waiting for a reply
All right.
because
Okay.
she does amazing projects and you will enjoy listening to her.
Yeah, because I like to hear about, hear about what she does.
Yes.
Um, what I'm trying to do at the moment is get onto the Life Romania page, show everybody what goes on. Here we go. Look, um,
That's our page.
that's your page.
Yeah.
So this is Maria's page, by the way. This is the two dolls that Maria was on about. Is that right, Maria?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Do they have names, Maria?
Um, I think Andrew named them, but I forgot. I can't
Okay.
remember. He gave them Romanian names, and I'm terrible with names.
So that's the mascots we were on about. Maria, because you're doing it nearly every day, really, aren't you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because she's at it, you're at it every day, and if you've got any shoe boxes or anything, let me know or Maria know, and we can go on to Life Romania Facebook page, and they will answer the page. So I see that you put little sweets in there too and everything.
Yes, so you see what happens is that I start packing them in January, so it's not good to put the sweets in the box straight away because
Right.
it means it's going to be kept until next December. Some sweets might expire or they might melt because it's very, very hot where they are stored. So what we do is I keep the sweets that I'm given, and if it's within the expiry date, I keep them in a box and it goes separately. So they only leave my house when the last boxes leave. to
Yeah.
go to Romania. And then the
Yeah.
pastor will distribute the sweets at the same time as he distributes the boxes.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you get all these boxes in the car? Look at that. Gosh.
It's magic.
How many cars do you use?
We do several trips.
Do your husband get fed up with all the boxes in the house?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. so, so I don't know how you manage it, looking after Tony and kind of like doing these boxes. But as
Yes.
yeah, but it's really good. Let's go through this, show people what you actually get up to. So this is all the boxes. They put them in the car.
This
So
is the one that arrived recently.
all right, okay. And when you make all these boxes, Maria, do they go into storage?
Yes. So I have three places where I can store them. Andrew left me the keys for his garage in Bampton. So when the lockdown is over, I'll be able to do a couple or more trips down there to store the boxes. Then I have a lady just about 2 minutes walk from here, so she's really close. She's I can use her garage also, and I have got a couple from church that have two spare rooms. They don't use those rooms, so when I'm stuck, they will come and get the boxes and store them for me.
Gosh, so God is actually kind of like working and
in,
definitely
in,
working.
in a big way, in a big way.
And when they get to the destination, so the procedure is that they all get picked up. When do they actually? So the parcels get taken to storage. When do the parcels actually kind of get picked up to take over to Romania, Maria?
Okay, under normal circumstances, and we would come here every year in June with this trailer to pick up all the materials for the holiday clubs that the mission does with children. And because the trailer is so big, he has been able to take half of the shoeboxes in June, plus the materials that he needs to take for the children's clubs. Then he comes back again end of the year, around November, and it takes another trailer full. Now, last year, because of the lockdown, um, we couldn't do that. You know, Andrew was stuck really. First, he was stuck with the first lockdown, he was in Romania, and then the second one and the third one, he was here. He just left yesterday.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know what's going to happen this year, but we'll just leave it up to the Lord. But last year, we had to contact the shipping agency, and we were given some crates, and we packed the shoeboxes in those crates, and we did some fundraising, and we were able to ship all the shoeboxes. It was so successful, Steve, that probably we will do the same this year. I'm not sure what God is going to do.
Right. Okay. So so what they do is they get shipped or they get taken. And do they then after that they get taken to the villages probably? Yeah.
Yes, so they are taken to the main church, which is in Tinka. It's the village where Andrew lives, and the pastor and the helpers will offload the crates, put all the shoeboxes inside the church in a room adjacent to the church, and then they are taken bit by bit per age group or per gender. I'm not sure how they do it, but they separate them and they display them all at the bottom of the sanctuary, and they stay there ready for being to be distributed when for the first distribution that they do, because that's a church with the most children in that
Right. Okay.
area. Then the pastor pastors another three churches, smaller ones, in smaller villages. So what's left from distributing in that church will go back to his car. He has like a minibus, and he goes to the next village. I have to tell you the story about those ladies that you just passed.
Okay, go on then.
It's very interesting. So it goes from village to village, and so far they've been enough for all the children in all the villages. I have a feeling that this year they probably got some extra ones, which Andrew will distribute during the year. It doesn't have to be Christmas time.
All right.
So this lady, you see, this lady has a black bean bag in her hand.
Yeah.
Okay. When I went to distribute the boxes myself, this is about 5 years ago. On the very last village, after we distributed the shoe boxes, an elderly lady came to me and said in Romania she would like a box too. So I looked at the person that was interpreting for me, and I smiled and I said, "You have to tell her we only make from birth to 18-year-olds. If she's happy in receiving an 18-year-old box, I will give it to her with pleasure. But I have no idea what's in there, if she's going to like it or not." And first, when I said we only do this the certain age group, she was really cross. She put her hands on her waist and she said something which I didn't understand. I don't think they translated it for me. And that's why and that's when I said, "She's very welcome to have an 18-year-old box." So Andrew looked at me, he smiled. We get in the car and he says, "Maria, we have to do something." I said, "I know, Andrew, we have to do something about the ladies." And Andrew said, "You know what? She's a matriarch. These matriarchs are elderly, most of them, and they are widow, and they are highly regarded by the church. So much so that no business gets done without them being present, which I think it's a big honor for a community that doesn't really take much care of women to treat these elderly women that way. It warmed my heart. So that very same evening, just started jotting out ideas of what we're going to do. I didn't want to do a shoebox for them. It didn't sound right to me. And we came up with a bag of some sort that we could close with a zip or with studs or something. So when I put things inside the bag, they don't fall out, you see. And I found a few of those. I sent half a dozen of bags the following year, and we didn't know what to call them. So just between Andy and myself, we called them widow bags because we needed to have a name for the bags. So whenever we were referring to them, we knew what we're talking about. But none of us liked the name widow bag. So that's another story which I can tell you some other time. Anyway, they are now called the Ruth bags, which are the name comes from the Bible, from the book of Ruth.
Ruth, yeah.
It's a beautiful love story. You must all read it. And that's where we got inspiration from, and for the name of the bag. And what we put in the bag is we try always something warm again. We put a hot water bottle. We put a packet of tea. They love these infusions, like berry tea and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we put a packet of tea and then some toiletries also, and whatever people donate. The other day, I was given, you will laugh with this one, a carrier bag full of spectacles. And I looked at them and I thought, oh my goodness, they're all prescription glasses. What am I going to do with them? And then the thought came to my mind. Once, a long time ago, when I was in Zimbabwe, my glasses broke and I had no means of getting new ones. And I was in a Bible study meeting. After the meeting, a lady that I didn't even know, came to me and said, Maria, would you like to try my sister's glasses? I said, yeah, I'll try anything. Okay, next time we meet, I'll bring them. It just so happened that the sister passed away and she had a pair of very expensive glasses, reading glasses. And I thought, oh dear, I hope I can see with them. During the Bible study, I put the glasses on and I just burst into tears. I could read, I could see everything. I could see better than with my own glasses. I
Gosh.
mean, how faithful is God?
Oh no.
He's wonderful. So he brought back that memory to me. And I thought, okay, now when I pack these prescription glasses in the bags, I pray that either the person receiving the bag or someone in the family will be able to use those glasses.
Oh, that's good,
And
isn't
I
it?
haven't had any negative feedback from them.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant, really good. Um, so, so all glasses here. Look at the children's faces where they've got these boxes and they're thinking, oh my gosh, I just got a
Can't
box.
wait to get home.
You know what I mean? They're looking at it and they're thinking, oh, um, now this is the pictures I like. Look at that. This is you must be proud of this.
I'm just happy. I'm just so touched and I overflow with joy when I
Yeah,
see pictures like this.
yeah,
It just gives me an incentive to carry on.
yeah. It's really good, really good. And so you're hoping this year that you're going to do more. Um, is it going to cost you more money to be transferred over? If you put more
Yes,
boxes in.
yes. They cost approximately between £1.50 to £2 each box. It depends on the size of the box. Uh, so obviously, the more boxes we send, the more money we're going to need. But the Lord will provide. It's his business. I'm just being obedient and doing what He wants me to do
Yes, yes, yeah. That's it. Yep, yeah. God is good. Um,
all the time.
all the time. Amen. Um, last few questions, Maria. So you put those clothes. When all these clothes get put into these boxes and like hats and gloves and everything, they must get a pleasure there because Romania can be really cold, can it?
Yes, very, very cold. The year that they were distributed for the first time, so I'm going back 7 years. At this particular village, they had more than a meter deep of snow. Now that's a
Gosh,
lot of snow.
yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah. I like. This is the video I like.
Yes, they are just getting the boxes ready. They are separating. Oh no, they are giving them to the children now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been already separated.
Hang on a second.
Domnul să vă binecuvânteze, frate Tony, sora Maria. Domnul să vă binecuvânteze. Astăzi distribuim cu ajutorul lui
That's us.
Dumnezeu cadourile pentru copii.
There's a mascot.
That little doll there.
Yes, and right.
They're all waiting for the shoe boxes.
Doar ăștia sunt o parte, sunt copiii de la Tink.
And can you
Da?
see now?
Și mai trebuie să ajungă încă, nu sunt
They are
toți.
all
Yeah.
dressed up. They all have clothes on.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
first year they didn't. They were in the snow, shivering, wearing shorts and no shoes.
This facial hair.
Sorry about this. Hang on.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, you must get. So, how long does it take to get all these boxes sorted out? You must have so many in your house, you know, in parts somewhere. You probably got them in the bathroom, the toilet.
I tell you, Steve, there are two places only in my house where there's no shoe boxes, which is the bathroom and my bedroom. And that's only because Tony needs space for his wheelchair. Otherwise, it's everywhere.
You probably got it. You probably got them in his basket, in his wheelchair basket or something. Anyway, the what I was going to say to you. Let me turn this off for a second. So if people's got boxes and stuff, where do they send them up to?
If they can get in touch with us, either via yourself or our shoebox page, then we can give them details, because we have different people all over the country where they could take the boxes or whatever they want to donate. I've also started for my birthday this year. I've started a fundraising page, which is also on the shoebox page. So whatever I collect for that particular fundraising page, it's going to go for the shipping of the boxes. And I thought, it's better to start early this year, because we might have to send the boxes halfway through the year and then the other half at the end of the year. I don't know. We already told last year that this year is going to be more expensive. So I'm expecting the boxes to cost more than £2 each to be shipped. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? But God will provide, won't He?
Indeed, He will.
Yes, God will provide. Anyway, Maria, thank you very much for your time today. It's been really enjoyable.
It's a pleasure.
I always like talking about it, and quite a few of my people like to listen about Romania and what you're doing over there. Thank you very much for joining us again, and
thank you for having me.
That's okay, and you take care.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was Maria from the Shoebox Appeal. Thank you very much, Maria. I will see you later on, around about 6 o'clock. Until then, or 5 o'clock. Until then, see you later.